Conspiracy.
All right, what's up, party people? Let's get started. All right, again, I don't feel like I'm late. I feel like I'm just on time. And as of yesterday, I apologize to everyone. Hopefully, it won't happen again. But shit happens. But yeah, overall, it's my stream. So if something's going bad and shit's going haywire, it's probably something I was doing incorrectly. So I do apologize to you guys. But not to the trolls. Anyway, we're gonna get started. Basically, what I want to do is kind of just start over. I want people to understand. Yes, I am a conspiracy theorist. I am a conspiracy believer. I am someone who thinks, I know that there are entities, whether it be to the presidential scale or the managerial scale in a regular business. There is conspiracies. There is motivation for gain, motivation for profit, in all these sectors. These are kind of the things that kind of aim me towards, is this legit or is this a conspiracy? Now, I know I've had to do this a lot of times, and it's not even frustrating because I see why. But yes, I don't just hear a conspiracy. I don't just hear someone's idea and then run with it. Probably not going. I know we're not going to talk about it today. But for instance, like 9/11, all the holograms and the elves that set dynamite. I can't do that shit. It sounds hard to believe, but I really do try to base everything that I'm going off of on these conspiracies, off of things that I feel are legitimately possible. Of course, no, I'm sorry. We all aren't going to have the opportunity to know everything the government's doing. Why? Because they're pretty smart. It's not they're not going to just be doing shit so willy nilly that everybody knows what they're doing. It doesn't work that way. There are also some situations that we can't call conspiracies because sometimes it's just safer for them not to talk about it. For instance, military technology. Yeah, there are things that we see and we believe are more advanced. I am one of the people that believe that our technology that we have is behind what, say, Skunkworks or DARPA or Silicon Valley are using. It's not time travel. It's not actual invisibility. It's technology that isn't privy to us. It's not something that we are able to use on a regular basis, or if at all. One of the things that kind of ran me down this path on technology, at least, is in the military, is the fact that I did work on a military base for about 15 years as a civilian contractor. And in that time, you end up meeting people, forming relationships with them, and then, they become more open and they start talking about things. The way it does work, whether you know it or not, 90% of technology, electronic, etc., is literally given to the military to use. Not out in wartime situations, mainly on base. On their base, on carriers, or wherever they're stationed. I'm not saying in wartime situation. Specifically saying just the military sector does get privy to all technology, basically. Not all 100%, but in the context of what I'm talking about, they are the ones that basically decides, is this something we can utilize in military? If it is, they keep it. If it's something that it's advanced, but it's basic, they use it, and then it becomes, then the civilian aspect of it comes into play, where they start downsizing or doing whatever they have to do to make it safe, I guess you would say. I'm not really sure the exact word for when they would pass it down to the civilian population. But there are definitely technologies that I was watching happen before it came down to the situation. One of the things being radar detectors. And this is going to sound simple, but 15 years ago, it wasn't that simple. We all know they have the little calibration speed gun, or the little signs with sensors and all that good stuff. Well, a lot of people don't know, especially nowadays, CHP, or your highway patrolman, they all typically have this, where it's a speed gun that points in both directions, front and back. Now, the real advance of this is the fact that it will not read out an exact speed. It actually reads out plus or minus the speed. If you work construction and you've done any underground when it comes down to in an intersection where there are light posts and all that good stuff, sensors, there are actually metal strips that lay under the road that get triggered when your car hits it. They get triggered and also are able to censor something that makes that light turn green. When the fire trucks come through and the light suddenly just turns green for them? Yeah, they're able to actually trip the sensor that makes that happen. Before you all think anything crazy, there actually is a safety on that. What they do is it's a 3-second delay. So if anything's happening, that's why they still have to slow down at these intersections, the whole nine. So now that I've ranted into that explanation, let's say what's up to everyone real quick, and then we're going to jump in. Let me see here. What's up, Maxwell? I can't really... I'm not going to read anything right now. I'm just going to go through this. What's up, Tinfoil Hatter? Oh, perfect. No name. How you doing? What's up, Maxwell? What's up, Dinky D? Let me see who else is here. They and them. How you doing, sir? Digital. Kind of going through my notes and looking at the chat at the same time. Multitask. Hey, Amy, how you doing? Welcome. And 9 o'clock hero. Let me see. I'll go ahead and give you the wrench. Actually, something looks like fishy about you. Hang tight. Don't worry. They'll let you survive if you're respectful. What's up, GPS? What's up, B-ball? Um, who else? What's up, Sean Hawkins and Soul Survivor? And that's where I'm gonna go ahead and stop for right now. Secret G, I see you. All right, so let's get into this. I said no name. I said it. You were like one of the first people I said. Yep, everything is well, Amy. I figured out basically what I wanted to do with the stream is I noticed right away, the past couple, it's been about the past week, I've put so much of a pinpoint on a topic, which is kind of why everything kind of just goes helter skelter. Not to not to like what do you call it? Blame it all on doing just pinpointing it on that. It's literally the fact that we keep advocating all this troll shit. And yes, Aaron, I'm talking about you. There's your shout out. I'm not interested in being cool or non-biased to the trolly type individuals. I just don't have time anymore. I'm really now at the point now where like I'm seriously putting 2-3 hours of research after the stream, just to keep going every day. So I don't have time to get frustrated. I don't have time to keep little kids like Aaron at bay, and on topic. So if you can't be an adult and do it yourself, don't jump on. It's pretty simple. It's the best thing for everyone, rather than make yourself look stupid, because I will make you look stupid for doing so. And it's showing something. Aaron, you're a troll. You cling onto a live streamer and then you run with it. I don't got time for that shit. I'm a grown damn man. I thought you were a grown man, so it's time to start acting like a kid. All right, guys. Let's get into this. I could answer one message. It's my girl, so I do have to answer it. All right, perfect. All right, so like I said, I want to kind of get into these conspiracies and see what you guys kind of think of it. I know there is a huge portion that believes, hey, there's a lot of conspiracies. There's a huge portion that think, you guys are kind of nutters and stop with this. Everything's a conspiracy. And I sit right in the middle. Everything is not a conspiracy. A red flag is if someone thinks everything's a conspiracy. I'm sorry. Every shooting can't be a fucking conspiracy. Please explain the poll. I don't even see this. Did he really just give? My bot shouldn't even be up there right now. Hang on. Yeah, my Streamlab bot shouldn't even be out there. I haven't even put him up yet. Let me see. I have no idea what poll it is, because again, I don't remember. I'm actually opening up the software right now for my bot, so there's no way it would be that way. Let's see here. Okay, I'm gonna go up a little bit because I do see the names chiming off. Maxwell says, I have a conspiracy theory of all time. No Name says most technology is governmental subsidized, and eventually economically the scale comes to into play. Exactly, yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's all built around the military sector, really. Let me see. Okay, so Dory says, is that every military or just certain countries? Are you a conspiracist because of the country you live in? Okay. So, excuse me. When I'm talking conspiracies, I'm talking all conspiracies. Issue is that I'm here in America. I've had limited time for all the research, but so I mean it's all good to go. But at the same time, I don't want to. I don't see no poll in here. You sure it's my bot? I don't know if I can have a poll up right now. Is it Stream Element or Streamlab? If it's the Stream Lab one, I'm gonna kick his ass out of here. Let me go and find this bot real quick, because I'm assuming the poll is confusing. I don't even see a bot. I don't even see a poll. All right, give me a sec, guys, so I can get this turned off. Apparently. Give me a second, guys. I gotta change something so I can. You guys aren't getting blasted by the sound of that. All right, let's see if that works. All right, perfect. Let me know if it's really loud, because if it is, then I'll make sure it's done. It stops. Who asked that? Let me see. Kind of just going down and see if you got what you guys were saying. Yes, stay in them. Bacon is great. All right, getting down to the bottom. It says digital says intelligence is where the majority of tech is given in the military. Yes and no. I think majority of the tech is for intelligence, but it's not. I would say more. It's more basic than that, whether you realize it or not. It's really much more basic. Okay, I already said those. Maxwell says, or no, subscription says, YouTube is actively censoring a name from chat. Eric, yeah, see, I'm not, hell. Sean, we use weight cells at intersections. You guys may, but we don't. Or we used to, and they're getting away from that, because what happens is with rain, wear, and etc. It throws the calibration off on those. The weight sensor cells that you're talking about. I'm actually very familiar with the weight cells. I used to actually run a trucking company along with the grading company, and I used to own my own scale. So trust me, I know what it takes to calibrate those things, and fuck, it sucks. Let me see. Secret G says that does not happen in New York City. Fire trucks always slow down at intersections because the light is red. No. Okay, maybe I said it wrong. Secret G, by law, meaning if you see a fire truck or police car or ambulance fly through an intersection without tapping those brake lights at least once, then it's 100% illegal, and you can actually file a report on them. But what happens is that delay, they start off in the back, and then they basically start clicking it and hitting it. Because the other cars are going through the intersection, it won't automatically turn green. It won't happen. It's a fail safe. Let's see. 1 second. All right. All right, give me a second. All right, sorry about that, guys. Get back to where I was at. There probably will be another momentary hang on, but not for a second. Okay, so let me get back to where I was. In the chat. No, Aaron, I don't hate you. You're just a troll, and I don't have time. Yeah, they and them, man. I don't know what poll you're talking about at all. Hey, what's up, Bansaw? I don't see my bot even with a. Maybe if I do this, a lot more names. I had done that first. You know, that bot is going to. Oh, Jesus Christ, that is super old. All right, don't worry about the don't worry about the Streamlab poll. I have no idea again why it did that. I usually have to make sure it starts going, and for some reason now it started up just fine. All right, so let me get rid of the bot real quick, because there's actually 2 stream bots. You guys just don't realize it. Actually, there's 4, and you guys don't realize it. How do we get this bot to go away? Cloudbot, you're not needed, especially on any polls. All right, we cancel. Okay, so all the polls should be done, and you guys should not have to deal with that again. I do apologize for that. Okay, so back to where we were at. First, what was your conspiracy, Maxwell? No, Maxwell, they're not. And this is actually, it's a really good topic. So No Subscription says, YouTube is actively censoring freedom of speech. No, they're not. Are you in the Discord, Maxwell? Actually, I'm going to go ahead and open up the panel. And this is what's going to happen. There's going to be no trolling. Aaron, you want to troll? It's going to cost you $75. $75, and you can troll for 10 minutes, and then I'll kick you off my panel. Otherwise, no trolling at all. And no, I'm not making people pay to get on my panel, except for Aaron, the troll. So, $75, Aaron, for 10 minutes of trolling. It's all on you. Let me see here. Okay, so what Maxwell was saying. Maxwell says, yes, they are. Yes, they are. This is a social platform. Then I would love for you to come on, Maxwell, so we can get into it, because I can easily explain to you how you're not exactly correct on that. Hello, Aaron. Hopefully not the troll. Yeah, we're good. Keep it on topic. I guess if Maxwell can't get in here right now, that's fine. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate the apology. Let's just move on. Okay, so Maxwell said that YouTube is censoring free speech. Well, it's not even a like what, really. Or actually, let's get him in here because he's here right now. Make sure everyone can hear you guys. And just so everyone knows, because they couldn't hear you, Aaron. Aaron apologized. So we're good now. And
hey, what's up?
I don't think he just jumped on and was like, fuck you. What's up, Dane? Them? What's up, Maxwell? How you doing, sir? Do you want to continue in on what you were saying about YouTube?
Hello.
Jesus Christ! I forgot to. I was on mute.
So you say that they're not censoring the freedom of speech, that it can't be freedom of speech because it's a service. Well, you do know that Google and YouTube are now fighting, being sued by people because it is a social platform and not a news outlet where they can do that. There's a difference between that. And YouTube and Google are trying to play both sides of the law, when in fact they are a social platform for social discussion, which is and it's being fought in court right now.
Oh, no, I heard about it. 2 things.
So, anyways, this is my major conspiracy.
Hang on, no, because I want to talk about the YouTube thing, because we actually all are engulfed in it, whether you realize it or not. Okay, so one, we don't. Hey, Aaron, my bad. I didn't realize I was muted, so I was actually talking to you. Didn't know I was muted until they started going, "Hey, we don't hear anything." So I apologize on that.
No worries.
Yeah, cool. YouTube, you can't own stakes in YouTube. You understand that, right?
What do you mean?
Or I'm sorry. Sorry, I completely just twisted what I wanted to say and retwisted it with no fact behind it. Let me start over.
Start again. No problem. No problem. Start again.
Okay. YouTube is not a federally congressionally run entity. It's of themselves. They can make any rules they want. They are not they do not have to bind, or they do not have to adhere to free speech at all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah,
at all.
It's a Google company, isn't it?
Yeah, and that was the other thing. You said Google end. It's Google owns YouTube.
Yeah.
So that's what's being fought in court right now, because it is a social platform, and it's a freely distributed social platform.
Okay, you know open sources, an open source.
Yeah,
software?
yeah, I know what open source is. Anyways, here's
no. It's not anyways. It's not anyways. Because
so they can
YouTube,
actively censor a name. You try typing in
absolutely
Cyramella.
They can.
You can type in Cyramella and it doesn't come up in chat.
So I'm telling you right now, they can do whatever they want. This isn't just because it's a social platform means jack all. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of them, they can kick you off for saying yesterday was a beautiful day and it rained. It's their platform. They can do whatever they want. That's why when you sign up, you have to hit that agreement, because that agreement tells you this is not a free speech zone area. Like this, just because it's a social platform.
I agree with that. I agree with that, Sean. I agree with you, but they're fighting it in court right now, and they're being sued by other media outlets that are forced to abide by these U.S. laws that state if it's a social platform, YouTube, you cannot limit the free speech.
You can't.
Even though it's a company owned thing, it's still a social platform. And
okay, so let's just pretend.
It's not.
Hey, Sean, can I give you an example real quick?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Is that Maxwell that's talking?
Yeah.
Okay, Maxwell. I can say anything I want on Sean's panel, whether on voice or even on his chat, and he has every right to kick me the fuck out. I have no recourse. I cannot take Sean to court. I cannot take Sean to court and say, "Well, this guy limited my free speech." Right?
That's incorrect, Aaron. You cannot say anything. You'll be held liable if you bring about if you were to say something like a call to action to violence, you would be brought to criminal trials and all sorts of crap.
No.
Yes.
Not on Sean's panel. Not on Sean's panel.
Exactly.
Yes, on Sean's panel.
So Maxwell, if I said, or this is actually a great example, Pete is not allowed to talk 9/11 on my panel. I'll boot his ass off in a heartbeat. Are you telling me that I'm infringing upon his right of free speech? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Then what makes it so I'm allowed to kick him off if YouTube's supposed to allow free speech? I think the idea of what free speech
because YouTube corporations and stuff abide by different rules and different laws.
All right.
I'll look it up. I'll research it here, and I'll bring up the information that you want that I'm talking about.
Say it one more time. I swear, the last 4 words.
I'll research what I'm talking about here and pull it up, and then give you links to show you that there are laws that YouTube, Google, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, that they have to abide by as far as freedom of speech goes. If they didn't have to abide by it, then they can do that. But they're fighting this right now because they're not an entity which they're claiming to be. They're a social platform.
What does social platform mean?
Well, you'll have to. I'll find some links. I'll look for some links for you.
Okay,
It's a private thing, right, Sean?
Yes, it's a private company.
No, it's not a private thing. It's the
What?
same thing as being out on the street and yelling shit.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Not
not.
at all.
The
It's not.
internet is a
No, okay.
free platform.
Look. If you're outside and you're screaming, F whoever, blah, 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 blah. You walk into a Baskin Robbins doing that, they're going to kick your ass out because it's their establishment. It's their business. It's their company.
Policies, procedures,
Okay,
rules.
now I'm going to read off. So it says, what speech is protected by First Amendment? Because this is what you're saying is they're breaking that constitutional right. But it says, a careful reading of the First Amendment reveals that it protects several basic liberties: freedom of religion, speech, press, assembly. Where am I? Where am I? Damn! Oh, I completely lost it.
You said Baskin
Assembly?
Robbins.
Yeah, I know,
Who goes
right?
into Baskin Robbins yelling?
Interpretation of the amendment is far from easy, as court case after court case has tried to define the limits of these freedoms. Now, that's what you read, and I get why you're saying what you're saying, but you need to understand that it's not that simple. The second you sign in to YouTube, you're no longer being protected by the First Amendment. You can't say whatever you want. It's just the way it is. Their guidelines explain that.
It's like coming into my house. I have the door open. It's what's called, it's a private company, but it's open to the public. It's just open. But that door can be closed, and it does close during business hours. So, like, if I have my door open, you come into my house, I don't like what you say, I can kick you out of my house. You can go back out into public, onto the street, say whatever you got to say. I have no claim against you, no problem. But when you're in my house, and I tell you I don't like the language you're using, it's not a violation of the First Amendment at all, because it's private at that point, right?
It's a pretty simple concept. The only time I can think of you being the First Amendment really coming into play is if someone physically stops you, I guess. What do you guys think?
Well, I think as example of the internet being, having freedom of speech is the fact that you can make a website of any kind and put whatever content and say whatever you want, as long as it's not called into action, or of course, any illegal stuff like selling. I don't know.
You don't even have to say it.
Yeah, I don't have to say it, but
don't you also have to take into account the different countries that you're broadcasting to and the difference in those?
Yep, because they matter.
Facebook can delete your account at any time. They don't have any obligation and to cater to you. It's a private company.
Yeah, they don't have to do anything. If, like I said, if they don't like your screen name, they can pull you. Good luck. I mean, trust me, Google ain't Google without having Google lawyers. And a Google lawyer is going to laugh at your face if you come at them with free speech. Those news entities, they're having problems because they're probably getting strikes and it's messing with their monetization and all that stuff. That's all they're fighting for. They're not fighting for real free speech because even in the news, they have to censor themselves by what's the name? The board that oversees them, the FCC. So they may be trying to fight what they can and can't say and do, but isn't that who they are?
Securities Exchange Commission.
I don't know who the fuck are.
No, you're Sean. You're right. He said
FCC, the Federal Communications.
The FEC.
I was right.
I thought you said SEC. Goddamn acronyms. I don't know. It's a hard thing, right, Sean? It's not actually hard to understand, but you would think if the internet is an open public platform, Carlos is right. Hey, go create a website. And if you want to create a website that even calls to action, go for it. Nobody's going to stop.
Don't do that because you're not allowed to do that, Aaron. You understand that?
Yeah,
what you just did is actually you can't tell people No. Call to action. Do all this. You can't. That's again.
Yeah, you'll feel the repercussions, but it's
Oh yeah.
still an open platform. The internet itself, But as like you said, when we log on to
Actually,
YouTube,
it's really not. Internet's not isn't same thing. See, here's the thing. That the idea of what free speech is a very twisty, weird line that everyone is jumping in and out of. The fact that we don't deal with it every day, I think, is why we kind of just roll over and go, well, why am I being censored on YouTube? What about free speech? It's literally just the fact that Google owns YouTube. They can
yeah,
adhere any rules they want.
any policy they want.
Yep.
Absolutely. They could shut the whole motherfucker down tomorrow,
Yep.
and we would have no say.
I'll put it this way: before they changed the monetization, what you need to have to become monetized, before you were able to monetize everything. After sub 1, you can start monetizing. And let you know, I was monetized when obviously I didn't realize it and I didn't even care. But once I became a flat earther and I was on YouTube nonstop, I realized they took all of that away. All of it. They just take it. The reason is, it's their company. They can adhere to anything. Matter of fact, every cent I own that I've made on super chats or ad revenue, in the clause, it says they can change the percentage at any time. It's this is me. I'm a subcontractor for a major company. I mean, jack shit all to them. I'm telling you now, even the top YouTube got people mean nothing to them. It's the advertisers. And if the advertisers, excuse me, if the advertisers don't like certain content, flat Earth, conspiracies, it doesn't matter. YouTube has the right. Yeah, you heard it. The right to make that part of their policy.
Right, John. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
I didn't hear you say again. You're really muffled.
Sorry, YouTube has the right to appeal to their profit, their income, their investment.
Oh, absolutely. What business owner doesn't?
Yeah, can I change my price day to day?
Yeah, absolutely you can. Unless you sign a contract with somebody, your price can jump up. The only thing is going to be is they're not going to want to work with you again.
Yeah.
And again, YouTube has the content creators. They don't care anymore. There's billions of people, and they don't even need these millions sub to people. Yeah, all they really need is literally a platform.
So that's the argument. That's the argument that they're making, is that since YouTube is a freely distributed social platform on the internet, it is it's bound to comply with the constitutional rights.
In a sense,
you're not paying for the service. It's a freely distributed service.
No, they have paid. They actually do have paid services, and you do have to sign a contract before you have
you click on that I'll agree to the policies and procedure, blah 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 blah. But
it's not blah 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 blah, because that blah 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 saves them from someone who comes at them with free speech this, free speech that.
Okay, so since you're clicking on that Prager University and other people are suing YouTube for unfairly unlawful something to do with their business dealings, that they're unlawfully censoring people for whatever reason.
Okay,
that it's unlawful by fair business dealings. You can just look it up. Just look up YouTube. PragerU sues YouTube. I mean, Nunez has sued Twitter. Nunez has sued Twitter for $250 million and won, I believe.
Okay, is that fair play? Is that lost revenue though?
I don't know, but it's for censorship. So
yeah, fair play, Maxwell. It is a business. It is a business concept of business. You have to have fair play. So if Prager was doing business with YouTube, let's say, and then they found out, something's wrong, they have to go back to the whole fucking contract and look at what YouTube's conditional acceptance was. If you're going to use our platform and you click that OK, I accept button, It's the conditional acceptance of 28 million pages of lawyer speak on YouTube and Google side saying you can only do this, and we have this protection of whatever, you know. I agree with Sean, though. It's not going to go very far in court, I think, unless there was unfair play. That might be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, there's a dozen things that could play into the factor of it, but
Well, all that's going to make is how other people create different platforms. If you know, for these contents that are this niche content, let's say niche, but not necessarily. Like for example, on YouTube, you can't do anything about firearms now. This is not being monetized. So, well, somebody just needs to go make a platform.
So
I
no
said,
weapons at all, right?
Like, yeah, you really can talk about firearms and be monetized.
Yeah, exactly.
So somebody needs to go and make a platform, and then that way, you know.
Speaking of which, you mean a platform like this?
Well, there's already a bunch of platforms coming out. I mean,
yeah, but
there
this
you
one's
go.
already
That's what's
here.
gonna happen.
BitChute
this
is
one,
one of them. You know,
no, BitChute ain't going nowhere. They've already drawn the lines that they're trying to fight everything they can, and they're going to end up getting bankrupt. This is TRUUTUBE. TRUUTUBE is a new platform owned by a truth seeker who left or hasn't left YouTube yet, but created this platform for the sake of not being censored. And there's a big difference between free speech and censored.
well, there's some new law that they just passed also that's going to hold like internet stuff liable for actions taken. So like if somebody on your channel were to say some stuff and then go shoot up a school or something, then you could be held liable if you at all huh?
Yeah, that's kind of
That's
Yeah.
that's kind of
That's wrong.
I
on a
mean,
regular
but they
sense,
passed
they're not
that law,
going to.
so
I think it's wrong.
well, I think it's wrong
it's
too.
wrong.
That's why
I
why
don't.
I mean,
I
like
don't. So
when Jose, like for
because that
instance,
means
when
like, look,
Jose,
if I gave Maxwell the platform for a call of action like physical violence or something, I'm giving him the platform for that.
If you voiced it, if you influenced
No,
his
no.
action.
All I got look again. This ain't free speech. You guys like the term free speech. Free speech does not adhere to everything you want to say. This is my platform.
Yeah. But what they're saying is that somebody, if somebody in my channel, like I guess you're talking about in the comment section or something, they say something and then they go and do something that I'm going to be held liable. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. The biggest thing. See, here's the thing. The new policy that they're making everyone adhere to, Carlos. I know you've probably already had to do it. The child
Labor.
The content. Damn, the child content policy. So it's nothing's going to change. It's literally making it so content creators are 100% knowing what they're doing. So
hey, I've just found an article about.
Hang on here. So, like, if I have like a really good explanation of how something is done, and I'm like, oh wow, this kids can use this stuff. Before, I would have just put it in education and kicked it out. But because my content isn't that, and I'm not saying my content's for children, it will never go to YouTube Kids. That's what they're doing. They're trying to distinguish between normal, not for kids, and for kids. That's the main thing, for kids, because there's a big gap in there between adult and for kids, and they're trying to cut that down.
I just found an article.
yeah, well, they're only about 20 years too late, right?
Maxwell, I was talking. Prager University loses another of its silly lawsuits over YouTube against non-existent bias. This has got nothing to do with freedom of speech. They're accusing YouTube of being biased towards conservatives. The article's in the internal chat. Because governments have to oblige to preserve free speech. Companies are not. It's nothing to do with free speech.
Nope, not at all. Yeah. For instance, this is actually a really good one. I just put my PayPal link in that chat. understand this. YouTube can kick me off of YouTube for that. They don't want you advertising or posting anything that would adhere against their revenue. That's how that's how serious YouTube is about their policies. Like you said, like I said, I mean, it's literally, you have to figure out what is this free speech in quotations that we keep talking about. That just means I can't stop you from talking. That means you have the right to talk about your religion. You have the right to tell everyone how you feel. You don't have the right to, threaten anybody, stuff like that. So when they say it's free speech, it's literally just kind of putting speech in a narrow hallway just to make sure you don't go too far with anything. And again, no one goes against you too much.
The key here is that governments are obliged to do it, but companies are not.
Well, companies have.
Yeah, but there's some law. There's some law.
I didn't understand. Hang on. I didn't understand what you said. Can you say it again? Just I didn't grasp it.
Governments are obliged to be bound by it, but companies are not.
Oh, okay, yeah, exactly. If I'm in a courtroom,
so
I have the right to say whatever I need to for my case. They can't arrest you for saying anything. I mean, threaten somebody, but you have free speech in a courtroom. Or,
as long as you don't perjure yourself.
Yeah, damn. You don't have free speech in a courtroom, because if you talk out of turn, you'll be told to shut up.
Yeah.
There's a lot that has to do with the action part of it that y'all have mentioned too. Let's say if somebody goes on Sean's channel, or if I make my own channel and call to action of whatever means that the government
kissing frogs right now.
All right. So, for example, I can yell fire in a theater all day long.
Ooh,
as long as
the
people look at me, as long as the people
exactly.
No, you shut up and sit down. No, listen.
Oh, buddy.
You'll be all the way.
That is literally, it doesn't matter if you're in a clown. No, Aaron, if you're in a clown suit, it doesn't matter if you have a sign over your head saying a joke.
I can yell fire all day long.
No, you can't. It's illegal to do that in any establishment, actually.
No, it's not illegal. Okay. But if people trample each other because of my words, the action part of it, I'm going to be held, big time. Because I incited that action.
See, that's why it's illegal. Because who are you or I to know? But who's to know if the group you're doing it to is going to take it as a joke or take it as for real? That's why it's illegal to do it.
No. There is no pre-crime. You cannot make my speech a crime before I say it. You can't do that. And the governments don't do that.
So you're telling me that if you say, I'm gonna flick all these rubber bands at everyone in this room, and we know what I was really gonna say.
Let's say I yell out.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Sean.
No, go ahead.
Let's just say I yell out, I'm gonna murder somebody right in front of the police station, right? And I'm standing on the sidewalk. I'm gonna murder somebody.
Yeah, but you're not implying. If you said I'm going to murder you and you pointed at somebody,
it implies an action that hasn't taken place yet.
Yeah,
right?
But if you specify who, or you're talking to somebody, that's illegal. You cannot threatening someone is illegal.
As long as that person is there. Yeah.
No, it does not matter. Put it this way, if me and you are having a conversation and the cop has no clue what's going on, whether we're joking or not, if you say, I'm going to kill you, Sean, you know what he's going to do? He's going to walk up behind you and handcuff you.
It'd be a hard fight, even in court, though. It'd probably be dismissed. There was no
you're
action.
Probably right. You're right, because it depends on how serious you were. But no, you saying that, you saying fire, you saying gunman, anything, that's illegal. You're not allowed to say those things. It's actually law. It's like
these days. Right now. You just made a great point. These days, it'd be better to yell "gun" in a theater than "fire" just to get people to run, right?
Well, I can tell you
that's still a call. If people still do that, you're right, Aaron. It is not a call to action unless there's something done. So if you're saying going to kill Sean, but you don't, it's not illegal.
No,
it may be a threat, But
makes
now,
wait,
if you
wait.
did,
So
if you
if I
did
threaten
actually
you,
listen,
if
just
I
listen for a second.
okay, my
Let me
bad.
finish.
My bad.
If you did kill him, now that's premeditated murder, which is worse
Yep.
than murder. So that's
Yeah.
it. You know, I
Exactly.
mean,
No, that is not true. Because the cop, if you say I'm going to kill somebody, a cop's not going to go, okay, well, see you when you do it. That's not how it works. That's why those things are illegal to
Yeah, it
say.
is. Cops are not.
they
There's no
can't arrest
free
you for
crime, Sean. You
that.
can't arrest. I can't arrest you just because you're walking down the road and say I'm gonna rob somebody. You're walking down the sidewalk. I'm gonna rob somebody, but you didn't do anything, right? The cops are gonna keep an eye on you. That's for damn sure. People are gonna report you saying, "Hey, there's this weirdo walking down the street saying he's gonna rob somebody who don't know who," but they cannot detain you, cuff you. Well, they can stop and talk to you, the
Okay,
officers,
so
and they'll be like, "Is this
Well,
guy
they can
okay?"
detain you. They can
Ready?
detain you.
No,
They
can
can't
arrest
charge you with a crime,
You
though.
want to bet?
Yeah.
It's called a
They
false
can
alarm,
they can.
also called a narcissism or narcissism. I don't know how to pronounce it. Alarm. It is the detected or the enormous report of it or erroneous. Damn, I can't say that word. Report of an
Erroneous?
emergency. Yes, thank you. Causing unnecessary panic or bring resources such as emergency services to a place where they are not needed. False alarms may occur with residential burglary alarms, smoke detectors, industrial alarms, and a signal
Okay.
detecting theory. Yes. False alarms have potential to divert emergencies responders away from legitimate emergencies, which can ultimately lead to loss of life. In some cases, repeated false alarms in a certain area may cause occupants to develop alarm fatigue and to start ignoring most alarms, knowing that each time it is possible to be or is possibly false.
Sure. Yeah. The what do you call that term there? The where you say a false alarm too much, and then everyone's just like, "Shut up," right? You know,
Car alarms
Yeah,
would
the
be
boy who cried wolf.
a car alarm is
telling
a really
tales.
good. Well, think about this. A car alarm is a really good example of what they said, a false
Pretty
alarm,
much.
or yeah, or alarm fatigue. Basically,
No.
we hear of car alarm, no one looks out anymore. Everyone just goes, "Where the hell is that person going to turn that off?"
I know. But nowhere in there did it say anything about a guy walking down the street using free speech to speak his mind about whatever it might be. Right? I'm gonna shoot the moon, or just whatever causes excitement with people. If people do get excited, Maxwell's right. I think I'm on the same track. You can't excite the public because they will, if they start getting all worried, we don't want that. See, so like I said in the theater, if you yell fire, I can yell fire all day long as the people are knowing that I'm not serious. And they're just like, sit down, fucker, right? Stop trolling. So it's not an excitement. Cops could be called. They might pull me out and question me, but I'll be let right back into the theater under the order
you
of, hey,
won't.
do
Hang
not
on.
yell.
No, they'll
How about
charge you
this?
with something.
Yeah, and that
They'll absolutely charge you with
in
something.
the case of
Or they will. You're right, Maxwell.
It's called causes and prevention. It says residential burglary alarms can be caused by improper arming and disarming of the system, power outages, weak batteries, wandering pets, unsecured doors or windows. In the United States, false alarms cost police agencies up to 6.5 million personal hours. According to the International Association of Chiefs of Police, a 2002 study by the U.S. Justice Department estimated the cost of false alarms to be as high as $1.5 billion. Due to this cost, many cities now require permits for burglar alarms, have enacted verified response protocols, or have induced fines for excessive false alarms. And that's just burglar alarms and in the burglar alarms type systems they're talking about.
Nothing to do with what we're talking about, though, right, Sean?
How are people supposed to know you weren't being serious, Aaron, when you shout fire in a theatre?
Yeah, exactly. You can't do that. Either way, you're going to get charged for something.
Yeah.
Something, yeah. Maxwell's right. You'll get charged with something, but it won't be a free speech violation. It'll be disturbance of the public, disturb the peace.
Okay, perfect. Here it is.
Obstruction.
Here's actually the laws for it. So it says the term false alarm is actually a misnomer, or actually I kind of skipped over where I was at. Hang on. And is regularly replaced by the terms nuisance alarm. When a sensor operates, it is hardly false, and it is always true, indicate of a present state of the sensor. A more appropriate term is nuisance, indicating that the alarm... okay, that's not even the right stuff I was looking at. Hang on, I gotta find it again. Wrong paragraph.
Look up disturb the peace, Sean, because it's funny. It says if a person lets out an obnoxious gas, that is disturbing the peace. And, rightfully so.
Well, what would be the term for a false alarm or a nuisance alarm isn't even what we're trying to think of when we're trying to figure out what that whole shouting out thing is.
I think it'd be more along the lines of disturbing the peace of everybody watching the movie. And I stand up and I say, hey guys, I'm going to yell fire. And they're all just like, sit down. Even though one or two people might just be like, dude, no, you can't do that. Free,
There's nowhere you can do that, especially nowadays.
Same idea. Yeah. They have the same idea that you have, or we all have, that you can't yell fire in the theater, even though you can. If I precondition the audience, say, hey, I'm going to stand up and yell fire, somebody will call the cops. I'm going to get busted. Maxwell's right. I'm going to get kicked out.
Let's see.
Even though I preconditioned the audience. But look up disturbing the peace. It's a very funny code. Flipping the finger.
Yeah, so it says
it'd be like inciting a false alarm.
Yeah, what is describing what constitutes disturbing the peace? Jeez. It says fighting or challenging someone to a fight in a public place. That's what I wanted to say. Did I click on that one? Hang on, I'm gonna make sure I clicked on disturbing the peace, okay, never mind. This is the broad base of it because different states have different laws, and I say that because this first one really isn't 100% across the board. Let me go ahead and show it so you guys see what I'm looking at. Okay, so for instance, fighting or challenging someone to a fight in a public place, that's only in certain places because like Florida has the mutual combat, that's what it's called. And then, so the next one would be using offensive words in a public place, like to incite violence, which is basically what you were just saying. Outside screaming your head off, blah blah blah. So you can even be saying, "I'm going to go shoot the moon." It doesn't matter. If it raises alarm,
Sean? Are you looking at California law?
No, I'm looking at right now. It's just disturbing the peace. This isn't for any state right now. So you would have to check your states for these because, like I said, the first one doesn't apply in Florida.
General description.
Yeah, general description. That's a better way of saying it. Shouting in public. Did I read
so
that one?
what was it? And yelling hateful speech.
Using offensive words in a public place, like to incite violence.
That's complete utter bullshit.
But
that's totally unconstitutional.
So if someone, no, it's not. So if you're telling me I can. So if I see a bunch of Nazis in front of me, and I start talking shit, you don't. Here's
a question.
There's not a clear situation that could arise from doing so.
So
hang on, but
offensive.
Right?
So you don't believe that statement's unconstitutional?
No, not at all.
Okay, so tell me this, Sean. Mm-hmm. How do you determine what's offensive to one person from another? How do you make that determination? If I say cookies, somebody could take offense to cookies when nobody else takes offense to it.
They're talking about racial remarks.
No, that's not what it says.
It's not what it says. What's an offensive word?
Exact. That's my point.
I can tell you racial terms.
That's an unconstitutional statement.
It's not because you're saying offensive words.
Yes, it is. I can take offense to cookie.
No.
If you yelled
yeah,
cookie in
yeah,
the
take
movie
that to a
theater, I
court.
could take offense to that.
Take that to a court. See how that works for you. But if you want to be,
What if I have
if you're
a
going to say
cookie
racial
phobia?
slurs, if you're going to make racial slurs, you're going to talk about someone's disabilities,
Sean,
you name it. Those
Sean,
situations, those are offensive words. Those can incite
code
I
violence.
could
doesn't
win
say
in
that.
court.
The code
If
does
I
not
had
say
a
that.
cookie
I bet you
phobia, if I worked at a
$1,000. I
cookie
bet you money
factory
you can't.
and a bunch of cookies fell on me and I almost died and developed this cookie
Man,
phobia,
yeah, you're
and
gonna
I
have to prove
took
that
offense
one.
to this word cookie, I could
I'll-
win in court.
Yeah, no,
So
you
that's
won't.
absolutely
No, you
an
won't.
unconstitutional statement.
Find me something where someone got sued for saying an offensive word like frog. That's why it says offensive words. It's not saying using words in public that would incite
But
violence.
it also says to incite
Mhm.
violence. To
Yeah,
incite.
if I make
meaning
racial
rally.
slurs at people, guess what may happen?
What?
A fight, violence.
Well, it may or may not. Right?
Yeah, but you guys can't
Should
determine
he be
that.
locked up?
Okay, if it's a possibility, then it's okay. You can't go. You did the same thing with the theater. If I scream fire and they know I'm joking, it's not illegal. No. It's not up to you to determine whether or not they will or not. That's why it's illegal.
And by the way, disturbing the peace is a very low level offense anyway. But Maxwell is right. It is unconstitutional because I can say whatever the fuck I want. It all depends on how other people react.
No, you can't.
Okay? Why
Wait. You can say whatever you want, but depending on who, what, and where will determine how the outcome of it. But no,
sure.
Again, I mean, we're going to look at it in a second. I have it already put up
Wouldn't
to look at
you
free
need to-
speech.
Wouldn't you need to show intent that the person who made the offensive comment knew it would be perceived by someone as being offensive?
That's
a really touchy one because I could say that the guy that's cussing his brains out on that corner and my son can hear him is offensive.
Yeah, but
Sure.
you'd have to show that he knew it would be perceived as offensive by somebody, wouldn't you?
Raises his voice.
Let's say I'm sitting on the sidewalk, Sean, and I got a cardboard box. I'm kind of a bum-looking dude, and I'm just hitting the box, and I'm calmly saying, "Fuck Jews, fuck Jews, fuck Jews, fuck Jews."
Okay, you don't have to keep saying it though. Thank you.
Right? That's offensive to a very large population of this earth. And I could use other words, right?
Like for instance, myself.
Whatever, right? I could say fuck.
But look, Aaron.
However, I'm not inciting anything.
Aaron, it's not whatever because it is offensive to me.
Okay. So you're gonna have to prove your case.
No, I don't. No. Literally, all I have to look. Because again,
I'm sitting down. Right?
Again, we're in the Sean court. We're in the Sean world. Okay. My panel. So
you'll never win a case against
Maxwell, stop. Hang on, Maxwell. Aaron, I just muted you because I can. It's my panel. So are you telling me you now have a case against freedom of speech because I did that? You gotta unmute yourself.
Nope. You have every right. Absolutely.
Okay. See?
And I don't argue with you about that.
You may think you had the freedom to say that, but what, where, and how. It all matters. And that's from my interpretation. Not yours. You may not have been offensive.
I'm
sitting on a sidewalk. I'm pounding a little cardboard box. Not pounding it, just beating on it for attention. Just to get attention. And I'm calmly saying, F whatever. Pick your racial slur. I'm not standing up. I'm not being aggressive. I'm not moving towards anybody. I'm not inciting. I'm not doing any action.
Definitely factors to that, though.
Aaron, try doing that in the UK.
Well, yeah.
This is the USA. This is not the UK.
It doesn't matter. It's the same thing. We live on Earth, so it what it is there, I want to know, and what it is here, they may want to know. But regardless, free speech is the same everywhere, in a sense. I'll get into that once we start talking about actual free speech. I have it up on panels. You guys want to talk about? Go to the definition real quick.
It is getting overbearing, like Maxwell's saying. Like you're
It's very-
stepping on certain
It's very
pre-written rights. You know,
it's very
pre-written. They were written
situational.
before. You know all this stuff. Yeah.
But it's definitely situational. And again, you got to remember this: the Constitution. You're okay, yeah, slow down real quick. The Constitution isn't so you can; it's so people cannot. That makes sense?
Sure. It's a limiting document. Yes.
It's so you can basically live prosperous, I guess.
But the Constitution is not meant for you and me. It's a limiting document for
No,
a
the
formed
Constitution.
government.
The Constitution is to. Oh, okay. The Constitution is to. Realistically, the Constitution is to protect us from the government.
Yes. Yes.
That's why when
Right
we
down the
start
middle.
getting into it, it gets really like, "Ugh," and realistically, it's very difficult to file a case and it go through court under the guise of my Constitution.
Because the government can bring about rules or laws. They can enact laws against a certain group, right? Companies like YouTube can't do that.
No, not
They can.
necessarily, but they.
Well, it
they
depends-
can,
it depends
but
on the
that's what the
state.
Constitution
It also
says
depends on the state, because
Yeah.
the state has its own constitution, which usually coincides with the federal constitution. So there's two factors at play.
Yeah, but they can pass laws, right, to shut someone up, for example.
No.
Yes, California
Yeah,
is a perfect
yeah,
example.
they can.
Wait. Hang on, Hugh. Explain a little bit more, so I can get a little bit.
In principle, the government can enact laws, right?
Yes,
So
But they
if you
can't-
weren't-
limit.
but they
weren't-
can't go against. I'm sorry.
That's what I'm saying. You can't, that's why it's there to prevent the government passing laws that would be biased against a certain group.
Exactly.
Companies like YouTube can't do that.
No.
Yes, it
There's
can.
nothing about groups. See, that
Wait,
goes
wait,
back
hang
to
on,
the
Aaron.
first
Hang on,
thing.
Aaron. Hang on. Hugh,
Freedom
so
of
wait.
religion.
Hang on, Aaron. So you're saying YouTube can't what? Because I'm a little confused on that part.
They can't enact laws.
They can enact policy.
Yeah, but that's
Private
what
law,
the
yeah.
law is making
law.
something illegal.
Oh no, yeah,
Yes.
they can't make anything illegal. No,
Right,
not at all.
exactly.
No.
They can only boot you. That's it. That's the only.
That's all they can do. Governments can, though. Governments, in principle, can enact laws.
Yes.
You say they can't go against the Constitution. So if it wasn't for the Constitution, they could.
Absolutely.
they could-
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was saying the Constitution isn't between me and you. It's realistically wasn't set up for that. It's to protect us from them.
Yeah, from them. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. From the government, because the
And
government, in principle, could enact laws otherwise.
Exactly. And that's why when we talk back and forth about free speech, it does get really weird because it realistically freedom of speech has nothing to do, well, it does. It's not so much to do with what can we say as much as what can they not allow, or what can they, how do I say that? What they can't stop me from saying is a bad way of saying it. The government, no federal officer, no state officer can stop me from expressing my case, or whatever the fuck you call it. Damn. I don't go to court very often and talk to judges, so state my case.
Presenting your defense.
Thank you. Yeah. Right to defense, state, all that stuff. That is the Constitution. That's what that's set up for.
Process. We call
Yes.
it due process.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you guys for clearing up my brain farts. The definition for freedom of speech is the right to express any opinions without censorship or restraint. So again, it's how you feel you can express is what I'm taking from it. It's not against the law. See, that's weird.
So that apparently that violates the statement that you said about the what's offensive.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
You can't express anything offensive.
Ooh, okay, I have a perfect example of this because a cop actually explained this to me. Okay, you can tell a cop, I think you're an asshole. You cannot call a cop a asshole. You see the difference?
I got a pretty good question.
Maxwell, in my opinion, you're a dick face. I can't call you a dick face. Otherwise, that is not illegal, but a cop can actually do something.
Let's say
There's
you,
difference
you,
in the way you
you,
say it, though.
you can call Maxwell a dick face at the public park. And if Maxwell takes offense to it, or somebody else hears it, maybe their kids hear it, and they tell you,
You can call the
Sean,
cops.
"Ooh, you're being offensive," they can call the cops,
Yep.
and you'll get talked to. However,
But
what if,
this
what
is
if you're
this
on
is the
your
important
own
part right
property?
here. Look, nope,
Sean,
doesn't
what-
matter. Doesn't say anything
What
about
if you're
on property
your own
or off.
property?
Hang on.
I can call people to my own property. Let's say I have 100 acres,
Mhm.
and I'm like, guys, come on, we're gonna just group together. We're gonna think about all these conspiracies, and we're gonna talk about overthrowing the government or whatever. That's okay. No fucking public government body can come on my property and say I cannot say that. However, as soon as I step off my property,
Yes, they
Yeah,
can.
they can.
Matter of fact, yeah, they can.
Listen.
100%.
as soon as I step off my property with that intent,
They would have gotten a warrant by
Boom.
then.
Holy
Boom.
shit! Doesn't matter if there's intent or not. If you're conspiring to overthrow the government,
Yeah, dude.
and somebody
literally.
What do you
hears
think- what do
somebody
you think the
somebody that
revolution
shouldn't
was?
hears about it, you're gonna
1776,
fucking end up
Maxwell.
somewhere you don't want to
What do you
be.
think the revolution was? 1776. What do you think?
A war.
Oh, there was no conspiracy. to
Well,
overthrow
it was a
King George,
revolution. Yes,
right?
it
There's
was.
no conspiracy.
Yeah,
right?
do you know the difference between that and our government right now, Aaron?
What, Sean? Tell me.
It's
please.
two
Hey,
different
what's going on?
governments.
What?
It's two different governments.
It was
Absolutely.
the reason. It was the reason we came up with the Constitution. Once we
the
separated.
reason why we had the Confederation, and then also the Constitution, the Constitutional Republic, all this stuff, is because there was conspiracy on private land to say, we got to get rid of these motherfuckers charging
That's not
us
true.
just to live.
No.
Yes,
It's not illegal to do that. That's why communes and those little cult things are allowed to be. You can do whatever you want behind closed doors, as long as you don't do it to somebody publicly that feels threatened.
Can
If
I
I'm
raise
sitting at
a
your
non-
house, if I'm sitting at your house and you say I should shoot you with my gun, I can call the police,
Can I-
and you're gonna get arrested.
On my private property, can I
On your
raise a
property.
Nazi flag? Yeah,
No.
Nazi
Mm,
flag
yes.
and
Yep.
a
Yes,
and
you
a,
can.
ISIS
Unfortunately,
flag
yes.
on my property. Can
Yep.
I
Yes,
do
you
that?
can.
That's free speech.
Absolutely. It's
That's
part of
your
right. Yep.
That's right. So
That's
can
your
I
part-
invite folks over for dinner and talk about how we're going to get rid of the Nazis and
No.
the ISIS?
Nope. You're
Yeah.
ensuing violence.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
Yes,
No, you
I
can't.
can.
No,
No government
wait.
entity can enter
Wait,
your
let
property
me-
for
yeah,
a free
let
crime.
Let me clarify what I meant. If you're planning or stating an actual,
They don't know that. They don't know
No.
what I'm planning.
Oh, exactly. But if someone called and said, "Hey, he's doing a call to action. He wants us to get rid of all these guys, all these Jews,"
Fuck it.
guess what? You're going to jail, and they're going to walk right
That's
into your
a
house and
loony.
arrest
No, I'm not going to jail. That guy's a loony. Whoever called, he's a loony.
you.
Right? You can't just drive by. I can't just drive by your property and say,
Well-
you know what? He's planning murder. That guy's planning murder.
Now, understand
Right?
this. Hang on. Understand this. You're wrong because of this one thing alone. If someone says this person is saying so and so and so, you know what a cop's going to do? He's going to arrest you, put you in jail.
Hearsay.
You have the opportunity to bail out. Yeah, but you have a flag and your head shaved. But on a serious note, the cop is not the judge. The cop will not, unless it's very, very, very simple. A cop's the first thing he's going to do is detain somebody, and then let the courts
For
decide
what
who's
crime?
wrong.
For what crime? What is the crime?
I have a question.
They can only
Conspiring,
be
conspiring
for a
violence, or
crime.
what do you call it?
Suspicion of a crime. That's why.
Well, that actually brings up one real quick thing. But go ahead first, Dan. Then.
Right. So in the US, you have the Second Amendment, which allows you to bear arms for the requirement of creating a militia if the government starts to trample over the people again.
Well,
Where does
there's another part to that, and that is if we have to defend the homes, our own homes against an outside force as well.
No. I'm just thinking purely about the militia part, because right. So as it's already been said, if you're calling to action, people to action against the government, where do you draw the line between inciting, calling people to action, or the requirement for you to have a militia because the government is acting against your constitution? Then
Again,
The-
that's the
Amendment
difference
clearly
between that would be the
states-
difference between opinion and planning.
The Second Amendment clearly states that the people have the right to bear arms and create a militia in defense thereof.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
but that's not in a regular or no. Yeah, they can actually.
That's
Yeah,
right.
if
So
me and my
I think-
friends want to start our own army, we're allowed to do that. We can't do anything. But that'd be like the same thing as like.
Well, you can patrol your private lands. You can patrol your private. Yep, you can patrol any area you want that is private property. Armed to the teeth.
Yeah, there's militia down here that are patrolling like 80 acres, 100 acres of weed farms. Armed guards.
That's very. But here's the thing: the whoever owns that land has to still adhere to the Constitution. Meaning, they can't just shoot someone willy nilly just because. They have to be.
Yeah.
I guess, what would you say? No, so
Private
if
property.
I wandered onto your property and you shoot me, you're going to prison. If I go
No,
to
you're
your
not.
property knowing what's there, then you have
You
a case.
trespass.
No.
Trespass. Trespass is
Depends
the
on the
number one
state law.
violation.
Yeah, that too.
Trespass is the number one violation. You
Well,
do not
here in
trespass
California,
into a person's
He-
property.
Here in California, if I decided to start hopping through people's backyards, like hop, and someone shot me, that person will go to jail.
No, they won't.
Yes, they will.
Not in Illinois.
Exactly. States definitely matter. Florida, someone's gonna be every neighbor's gonna be shooting their asses off because they're allowed to.
Yeah.
Texas, same thing. Texas, you get near my door, I'm gonna shoot you. That's all there is to it. California, no. Matter of fact, here in California, it's almost more dangerous to protect yourself in your home. If a guy comes in my home and I'm protecting my wife and son, and I shoot that guy and he doesn't have a weapon, I go to prison.
So,
And
Sean,
that's
it kinda
that's a
gets back to what
California
you're
state
talking
law.
about.
Huh?
Yeah, it gets back to what you're talking about, the conspiracies. What is a conspiracy? So let's say the overarching bureaucracy of the California state government saying that you can't even protect yourself in an unknown situation. Some dude walks in your house late at night, you just, hey, I'm protected, boom, grab him,
Think about it.
grab my gun, shoot him in the leg,
Think about it.
and
Think
you
about it.
go to jail.
What if
Man,
you wake
think
up?
about that.
Wait.
That is totally
If you can't
against everything
listen,
that's been written.
Aaron, if you get up, grab your firearm, and you go out that door, out your bedroom door, and there's a shadow in your hallway, how do you know it's not a family friend?
I'm not talking about that.
No,
using the
I am.
example you gave
I
of
am though.
somebody
I am.
coming into your
How
house.
do you hang
and
on?
if
How
you
do you
protect yourself
Aaron, stop.
with a firearm, you go to jail.
Aaron, don't start now.
I'm done.
How do you tell that Dark Shadow is a family member or not?
can I give them an even more
No,
drastic
because-
cause?
Because I would know as a father where my family members are.
No,
No.
Aaron,
They're asleep. My wife is hiding behind the bed.
Aaron,
I'm
stop.
gonna go after
Aaron.
Right.
But Dana.
right, Aaron, you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Your house, you open your bedroom door, and in that hallway there is a dark shadow. How do you know that it's not somebody like a fireman or something who may have been called to a report of a fire in your building?
Real good.
What do you mean building? I live in a house.
Your house, it does not matter.
Your house is a
vicinity.
building.
They're required to knock and present entrance. They're required to say,
Uh,
fire
What
department.
the? Yeah. But what if you don't wake up?
Hold on.
Required.
Yeah,
Required to-
Aaron. What if you had 18 beers that night, and you weren't waking up for shit?
Yeah.
Well, then I'd be going to the bathroom, and I don't walk to the bathroom with my fucking gun on me, right?
Then you ain't a
So
real Texan, bitch.
I might just get.
Well, first of all,
I was gonna say I do.
First of all, I can almost guarantee that all 50 states say that it is unlawful for you to carry or possess or handle any firearm within a certain period of time of consuming alcohol. I
That's
can
true.
almost
Not on
guarantee
private
it.
property, but not on private.
No.
Nope,
Actually,
that's not true. That's not true at all.
It is, and even in Texas, it's illegal there. The difference
No,
is,
it's not on private property.
look it up. Because I've looked up their fun law. I've looked up Texas's fun laws. You can make. You're allowed to make it.
Here's a good
You're
one.
allowed. I know, but I was talking. You're allowed to literally make a grenade in Texas, as long as you don't call it a grenade.
Let me ask Maxwell this.
Their
Along the
laws are
lines
different,
of
but trust me,
okay,
no matter what,
that's-
alcohol is
that-
not allowed to be
correct.
consumed.
That's a violation of federal law, Sean.
Can
Yeah.
I drive my car
So,
around my property?
drinking
if I'm,
with a firearm
if
is
I'm
federal
drunk
law
as
too.
shit? Can I drive my car around my property if I'm drunk as shit? Will I get
No.
pulled?
You won't get pulled over, but it is illegal. If you crash and kill someone,
It's still illegal.
You'll be DUI.
I mean, being drunk on your own property
Yep, you're not
or
allowed to.
inebriated, whatever it may be. And the
Put it this
cops
way.
are not going to come arrest you on your
Here-
own property. They
Yes,
have no
they
right
will.
to
If someone
come on your
calls,
property.
if someone calls and
Oh.
says if someone says, "Hey, my neighbor is driving his truck on his property drunk right now," the cops will zip over there and arrest your
How
ass and
does
give
the
you a
neighbor know
DUI.
that? The neighbor doesn't know that.
He sees you drinking.
All
He
right.
hears
Shit,
you
there's
elaborate it.
people that get arrested for drinking and mowing their lawn with a riding lawnmower, Aaron.
Yeah, it's illegal.
That doesn't happen. Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Aaron?
It actually does.
Okay, hold on. Before we go any further,
Show me
let's
one
clear this
time.
up. Let's clear this up. Okay, you can do that on private property and not get in trouble. On your own property, you can drive as drunk as you
Whatever the
want.
hell you want.
As
without
soon as you
harming-
leave that property, hold on, Aaron. As soon as you leave that property, it's fair game.
Oh, yeah.
They're probably sitting right across from you. You know, you could be
100%.
tearing down your house as long as you're on your property. You tell them to get
Nope.
off, and they have
I
to get off.
agree.
It's illegal still.
I agree.
Yeah, no,
I agree.
you can do that. You can do that, and on your own property as long as there is no harm to other people.
How do you
But
determine
if
that?
it's all your property, if you're the only one there and tearing it up,
Right, Sean? Thank you,
That's-
Sean Smith.
that's
we could
why they
run
have
our own house. We could do all this crazy
Okay.
bullshit.
Are you ready?
all these
This-
you know, when they do the mudding on private property and stuff,
Illegal.
they you know
Right, check this out.
except
I found it.
well, no, they have different they have police officers sitting right there on the private property,
Okay, so this is-
denying entrance or not allowing people to leave.
Yeah, it says that right here. So it says, so generally, a DUI laws prohibit drunk driving on at least certain private properties. The only exemption is for private properties that aren't accessible to the public. A private ranch, for instance, and those exceptions won't apply in states that ban drunk driving anywhere in the state. So if the state has a drunk driving law, then there are no exemptions. But if, say, Aaron lives on 20 acres and the public cannot physically get on his land, and he won't, basically, as long as public isn't on his property, then he could. But that would mean Aaron's by himself and no one knows he's drinking.
Private property, Sean, also like Walmart, where the land they lease from the city there, any Walmart you go to, any corporation, that is considered still private property, but it's open to the public. So yes, you cannot drink and drive in a Walmart parking lot.
You're right.
You will be held to the same ramifications if you're out on the road.
Well, see, that's also different too, because depending on where you live, because here in California, you can't drink a beer on a corner.
No, you can't do that anywhere, really.
Texas,
Open container. public
I
utility.
know. Texas, you can do anything you
Anything.
damn want.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's the thing, though. That's the difference between the states
Well,
and how they go. But at the note of drinking and driving, it's basically saying, if we don't see you doing it, then what can we do? But if someone reports it, that means public is in the vicinity, and that makes it illegal. It's literally, if we don't know, we can't do anything about it. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's also the same with firearms on private property as well. If you have a dedicated private property that is not accessible by the public, you can fire your guns all day long, as long as it has a certain amount of backstop and stuff like that. It has to meet requirements first.
Okay, yeah. So here in California, again,
Yeah.
I only
You
really
can't
know
do
the
that in the
California laws.
cities.
Yeah, exactly. You have to go to a gun range or be outside city limits. Because where I go shooting literally on the border. It's like, I remember I was talking about the Minutemen earlier. Like, that's where I met them. Like, we go shooting right along the border. Border Patrol sees it. Sometimes they come out and have fun and shoot off some stuff too. But in transport, obviously, bullets and gun have to be separate. I mean, completely. Like, one inside the vehicle, one in the trunk, and that weapon needs to have a lock on it. Those are new California laws. I know a lot of states are different, so.
Yeah, I can carry a
Yeah,
loaded
Oklahoma
firearm
now you
anywhere.
can. Yeah, same here. You
Well, I
can
can carry a
hang them in your
firearm.
back window loaded
It can't.
now.
I can carry a firearm. It can be loaded, but it cannot be on my person while I drive. Reason for that is because I'm in that permit phase where I'm trying to get my conceal, and
Oh yeah,
in that you're able to. But then again, I wouldn't be able to do that unless I'm actually on my way to work or from my way to work or whatever I
yeah.
was doing that would establish that.
Down here in Florida, I can go fishing and open carry a pistol if I want whenever I
I
go
will.
fishing. So
If see, that's weird. Okay, so there's a bunch of little laws, and again, this is obviously state bound. So I can carry a machete on my side as long as it's exposed. I can carry my firearm on my side as long as there's no bullets. What else is there? I can carry bullets. I just can't carry both unless I have a reason to be doing it. Basically.
so what you need is a good buddy to carry the bullets for you.
Exactly. But here's a kicker to it: a 3-inch blade.
What if you have a service dog?
Look, if anything over 3-inch, what do you call it? A switchblade flips out. It's a misdemeanor. You can get arrested for that, though.
You know what's cool
Yeah.
about all these rules, whether it's California,
Here's an idea,
Florida,
Sean.
Texas, or whatever, right, Maxwell? Is it only applies to folks, men or women like me and you, who actually abide by the law? The fucking criminal is gonna have a loaded gun
Yeah,
in his
100%
sweatshirt,
agree.
and he's
There's
gonna
nothing you
fucking
can just
kill
say
you
about it.
or take your
Exactly.
money, all this shit. So
So Sean, I got an idea for you to
do
try.
not deter crime at all. They only promote crime.
I
Right?
wouldn't say
Because we
promote. I
can't
wouldn't say
defend
promote.
ourselves.
I wouldn't say promote.
We can't defend ourselves.
Here, check it out. Sean, try this. You should have, if you have a like a
Robot.
service dog, and then put the bullets in a. If you have a service dog, put the bullets in a pouch on the
Your
service
person.
dog, and then carry your gun and see what the law says.
It's your person still. That dog is your person. You're responsible for it as if it was you. I know this because I have friends with service dogs. It's literally that dog. The reason you have to like register service dog and all that stuff is because theoretically that dog is you and you are that dog. Like there's no separation between the two. It's once you register that dog and you go into a federal building, what do you call it? A private company, whatever. You are one entity. You're not two. That's just a little service dog education.
Well, there goes
for
that
y'all.
idea.
So you know those little flip out or extending fishing poles.
Yep. Those are
So
awesome.
my thought was, to get a holster made for my gun and one of those flip out fishing poles, so I could always be fishing.
I wonder,
That's an
can you-
awesome loophole.
It is. Are you allowed to shoot for food?
What do you mean?
God damn it, Aaron. Hang on. Thank you, Aaron, for the super chat. He says, it won't let me do 75. Yes, it will. You just can't count. And don't start. And you're 25 short of trolling, so for 10 minutes. So I'll be the only channel on YouTube that has a troll time. You can let it troll.
A troll timer.
Yeah, 75.
I'm gonna call YouTube. I'm gonna call YouTube and report you.
Freedom of speech.
You got to put that up in the right-hand corner or something. Troll timer.
Other interesting state loopholes. I can't drive my four-wheeler side-by-side on the street legally, but if I put a shovel or a fertilizer sprayer on it, I can drive it anywhere I want.
Yes, you can. Exactly. Yeah. If it's for agriculture, absolutely.
Well, get this.
And I would like you to see any of you do this shit over here in the UK.
Well, I do
Well, see,
know in
that's what we don't
Australia.
want to get to, they and them. We don't want to get there, they and them. That's why we broke off from y'all and your kings and queens and all that shit. It's because look at you now, right? We're over here kind of laughing, joking, talking about this stuff. It's very, pertinent. But look at you. You're just like, you can't even talk about it, right?
Aaron, I have access to an excess of 50 weapons.
And
Well,
access, okay.
I do know. Yeah, you guys are really
I've
strict
got one
on
on
that
my
shit.
hip. Yeah, I've got one on my hip. Man,
Yeah. And here's the crazy part, Aaron. Not only are you hot micing, but you're probably under the influence with a firearm in a vehicle. And I'm betting money your dog isn't in a seatbelt either.
absolutely.
Aaron, how do you know I don't have a sidearm?
I don't know that, and I wish you would, because I trust you to protect me if I were in trouble.
Nope. He's not a peace officer. His job is not to protect you, it's to protect himself.
Peace officers only show up after the fact, Sean. They only show up after the crime has happened.
No, Aaron, you
It's always the people that you're a crime.
How do you know I don't have a sidearm on me?
That's the best part
But
about it.
you're in the US, so it's quite it's a completely different thing.
That's a life sentence for me if I have one right now.
Well, only according to a piece of paper.
And the whole
But-
fucking
Dan, that's-
judicial system.
But in all reality, if is that Crashes who said that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Crashes, in all reality, if you were in a situation where you needed to use that and you not supposed to have it, but you saved someone's life,
Not
you'd
supposed to
still
have
get
that.
busted.
Yep.
Yeah, he'd still get busted. Big time felony. Probation
Going to
violation.
jail.
Boom.
Yep.
I'm not going to get probation. It doesn't matter what I used it for. I would get a life sentence.
That's right.
Wait.
Even though
There-
he saved
there
someone's
are-
life.
No, but hang on.
He saw
There's
a
a
rape
hang on.
going on.
No. No, wait, stop. I guarantee you, a cop will have no problem if he stopped some dude doing that. If he broke a beer bottle and stabbed the dude to stop him. I think you can get off with that one. I think you can even get off if you're at a bank and someone robs it and Crash, you're there and you go over and get the guard's gun who was shot. That's going to be iffy, but I don't think you're going to get life for that.
I'd rather.
Well, I don't think you would get. I don't
I'd
think you
rather
would get
have
life if it was defending your life at the moment. Say you had to tackle a guy that was. I don't know. I don't even know.
Crash, what would
It's
it be
like a whole
called?
story then.
What would it be called if you saved my life and I went to court on your behalf? What's that called?
It would be pleading for amnesty or whatever you want to call it now.
Yeah. That'd be his only savior. Otherwise,
But it wouldn't work. Yeah.
Otherwise, he's not supposed to have a weapon in his hand. So how did he have that weapon? It would be the question.
Yeah.
He has the right to bear arms.
No, I
he
do
does
not.
Here we go.
He does not.
He gave up that right.
How did How did Crash's crime of protecting his property, his bike, of somebody
His
sitting on it,
his past,
how did his
his
crime
past,
overstep
his
his
past,
constitutional rights, which
his
aren't,
pat.
given by the
When
Constitution, the
when
rights that we have, right?
when Crash decided that the constitutional laws didn't mean shit all to him, that's when.
No. He was protecting his property.
No,
He
but
was protecting
Crash,
his property.
no, that's later. This has already happened. He's already lost that right because he already decided that law did not matter to him. So he doesn't have
What
that right
law?
anymore.
What law? What law? Protecting your
The
property
right to
law,
bear.
or
Yeah,
I've lost that. That's gone.
You don't get a weapon. You're trusted with a weapon, and if you're not trusted, they won't give you a weapon.
you
That's
have
why
two weapons on the end of your arms right now, Sean.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
I don't go around punching people either.
So we should just throw Crashes in the container.
Look, if
Yes,
if everyone was man enough to throw every weapon away and only fisticuff, it would be a perfect world. But guess what? Too many pussies
they're
out
not.
there.
So
Yeah,
not only that, but you also have too many people that want to assert themselves into a situation where it's a clearly outmatched battle.
Yeah, thieves, thugs, criminals, bad people. Absolutely. I respect the right to defend myself, my family, my wife, my kid, my dog, my house, my property. What's wrong with that?
I respected the right to protect my motorcycle in a public place too, but it cost me 9 years, or it cost me a lot of fucking time.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying that's fucked up. Unless you punch the guy straight in the face and knock,
Put him in
cut
the
his skull in
hospital
half.
for months and he'll never walk again. What do you think I did?
Okay, well, so if you seriously damage the guy, however, protecting your property should have been taken into account in the court, which it
Well, it
wasn't.
was.
Guaranteed. It was just assault in what?
But
What
it became a
degree?
hate crime when I got the ball peen hammer and broke every one of his fingers.
Oh, gee whiz. There we go. All right, Crashes. All right, no more hammers. You can have a gun, but no hammers.
I can't be caught
It was
riding
a
a
bit heavy
motorcycle with an E-cell flashlight, a padlock, a handkerchief, or a ball peen hammer on my person, where I might as well have just been carrying a gun.
In the eyes of some dude wearing a suit in a faraway city called the capital that believes that you're a harm to society for protecting your property, right?
Didn't you beat the crap out of the guy for sitting on your bike, Crashes?
Yep.
And did you ask him to get off the bike before you attacked
Several
him?
times.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, he was told not to go anywhere near it. So,
But I
but
think
I did my time, and I'd do it again.
what you should have done was called a cop then, right?
I should have called a cop.
Yeah.
No, I was a member of a motorcycle club. That wasn't going to happen.
Yeah. That's a militia right there. In
Well,
its own right.
I'm just trying to see it from their point of view. That's what they would say, isn't it? So you should have called a cop.
You cut out on me, Huey.
I'm just trying to see it from their point of view. I'm just guessing that's the way they would have seen it. That you should have called a cop. By beating the guy up, you took the law in your own hands.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's just the way.
It would have been worse for me from a club perspective if I had nothing to the gentleman that disrespected me.
Yeah, I get all that. I'm just playing devil's advocate a bit here, seeing the way they would have seen it in court.
Oh, in court, I beat the shit out of a dude and it got bumped to hate crime, and then I had a good lawyer that got it bumped back down.
Yeah. They would say, you shouldn't have taken the law in your own hands. You should have called a cop.
Yeah.
Yeah, but here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. Because by the time the police show up for most situations, that situation's over. The situation's already done.
Yeah, listen, Sean. Motorcycle groups, which is what we would call a militia in themselves, verbally, presence-wise, respect-wise, brotherly-wise, great folks. But if you disrespect them there's going to be a repercussion because you don't. Why would you ever do that? This dude that sat on Crash's bike, why would you do that? Maybe he was drunk. Doesn't matter. He got his
All
fucking
right,
noggin split.
Aaron,
Okay.
question for you.
Yes, sir.
If you feel that way, why do you come and troll the panel on certain days?
Why do I troll the panel on certain days?
Yeah. There's
It
some
depends
days
on-
you come on like today where you can have a coherent and productive conversation, but there's other days where you just want to troll. So if you can identify that level of respect with Crisis and his gang, why can you not carry that through on the rest of the days that you join the panels as well?
Group of like-minded motorcycle enthusiasts.
And it depends on the topic. Then you know.
It's just a
I
club.
mean, gravity's a little bit different. Well, no, it's not. I guess a swinging hammer at a man's skull. Yeah, gravity. Yeah. Then it depends on the topic, you know. And plus those other topics where I come and troll, it's fun, right? Sean kicks me out, all this stuff. This topic right now, I'm loving it. I'm muting. You all speak because I love this. The rights, especially with Crashers showing up saying I got fucked, pretty much for defending my property. And what we're talking about here is constitutional rights. The Fourth Amendment, secure protection of persons, property, and papers, and all this stuff. You have the right to defend yourself against all intrusions.
All right, so Aaron,
Crashers went to jail for 9 years.
Right.
You know,
So Aaron, you made the comment about the fact that we can't have firearms and stuff over here in the UK, right?
I don't know if I made it exactly.
No, but how you made the comment about how great it was that America separated and you got rid of the king and the queen. Okay.
Yeah. For the
So from my perspective, right, I have access to guns. I am trained and I can use them. But do you want to know the great thing about, from my perspective, I know that the chances of somebody breaking into my house and having a firearm are extremely slim.
What are the stabbing the stabbing stats versus from UK to the US? Because the stabbing stats, because people are allowed to carry knives.
Jesus Christ.
No, they're
Not
not.
allowed, but they do. The stabbing stats in the UK are enormous, right? I mean, people getting
Yes,
stabbed
but
everywhere.
Aaron, I'd rather get stabbed with a knife than shot with a handgun.
So when you limit folks to protection of themselves, then you only allow the criminals to carry the weapon they want, to take your wallet, to
Aaron, do you know how the chances though of somebody approaching you in the UK, even a criminal with a gun, are extremely remote?
Sure. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they probably don't have a gun, but they have a knife, and they'll just come up closer, right? Because they know you don't have a gun, and they know you're probably not carrying a knife. So they'll just come up and say, "Hey, give me your wallet," or break into your house, and just that threat of a blade, going into you, is enough that the stats in the UK on knife crime is outrageous. Razor blade crime, it's outrageous.
Yeah, and again, though, I'd rather have somebody come at me with a knife than a handgun.
What if you had a handgun?
How do you know I don't, Aaron?
That's what kind of what we're saying in the U.S. is if everyone's armed, all the good people, the public, my mom, my dad, people, all of us are armed. It's going to make the criminals think twice about who.
No, it's not, Aaron, because they're armed as well.
They'll make
no, Aaron, it's not. No, Aaron, it's not, because they're armed as well.
it's going to make them think twice about who they're going to rob.
No,
Yes, it will.
absolutely not.
Definitely does. Personal
Nope.
protection is the key to freedom and security.
If you look at this, the crime rate with firearms, states that allow carry or conceal have less home burglaries. Businesses get less robbed. It literally is that way. If someone thinks you may have a gun, they're less likely to actually commit the crime, worrying that you'll be shot for it. Issue I would say is that if they think everyone has a gun, then they're just going to want bigger guns, and then they'll feel safe.
Exactly. Whereas at least here, I know that if somebody comes through my door at night, the worst they will be coming at me with will be a knife or a baseball bat.
No, they have guns also. You have guns. Why
No,
don't they have
No,
guns?
because
again, criminals don't follow laws, saying them. So in that sense, that's not true.
No. I mean purely from a point of view from a statistical point of view.
Okay.
The number of criminals in the UK that actually use firearms is extremely low.
Okay.
So it is. So the statistical chance
Well,
of
it could
one of
be-
those people coming into my property with that is armed is statistically that much lower.
Lower
But
than-
aren't the statistics a little biased at that point? Because most of the home burglaries are done by like 18-year-olds and stuff.
Depends on which part of the UK you're talking about. So it does.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's the same in any country really. The statistics are going to be biased from Miami to the place where I'm living. I'm in a more rural area, so the crime rate's a lot lower. But down in Miami, there's carjackings and stuff like that going on. Up here, there may be like once a year or something,
Yeah, no, well, don't get me wrong, like guys, I agree with what America is trying to do. The only real problem I would have with your gun laws is how poorly gun ownership and stuff is tracked. That would be my biggest issue with your system.
All my guns are registered. All my guns are registered in my name. And every gun that I've ever owned has been transferred, and then I've let the name escapes me right now. The firearms and tobacco. Yeah. I let them know. So I don't know. It really depends on how educated people are in the system.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. It's just the idea of walking into a gun show, just being able to transfer a gun between one person and another, and no record or anything else.
Yeah, it's quite.
I don't see how that can be beneficial. Like I say, I agree. I have no problem with Americans having guns. It's not my business and such. That's just the one part of the gun ownership I don't understand.
The aspect of firearms here in the U.S., and them, is actually a novelty. People collect them. They don't use them. They polish them. They change them. They modify them, but they don't use them. It's actually it's a huge business. One of the largest businesses in the USA is public-private firearms. criminals don't walk into a gun show to buy a gun, right? There are enough guns out on the street for them to commit a crime, right? They don't want the tracking. They don't want that tracking, right? They don't want that. But the overarching public having guns is the deterrent for criminals to just pick and choose. Don't want those people. I saw that guy packing when he's going in his garage. Nope, don't want that guy. Don't want him. And neighbors. If you display your protection, criminals will move on. They'll just move, and that's kind of the point. I think move on.
But in the same instance, that's also a false sense of security, because if you don't know how to use that weapon, then what good is it?
And plus, you just said that all bank robberies wouldn't happen. All armored car robberies wouldn't happen.
Private. Sean, I was talking about home burglaries or something. Go ahead and rob a bank, criminal. Yeah, definitely. Go rob a bank. That's fine. I don't care about that. You're not hurting my family, my property, my friends.
Do people still rob banks? I thought that was a thing of the past.
Oh no, there's still people that try it.
We should get into that.
Define robbing a bank, because now it's just gotten more high tech.
Yeah.
How do you rob digits?
No. Actually, they have guys down here that still try to rob banks, and usually get into car crashes and stuff like that. But yeah, they still try to do it in real life.
In a bank in the UK, a group of 12 people walked out with £27.5 million in one night.
When was that?
Out the front door?
It's about 10 years ago. They took that much money out of the bank that literally within 3 days the money was considered illegal tender, and the bank had reprinted brand new notes so that they couldn't launder it.
I see.
So
I'm sure.
27 pounds is what? They and them $10?
Sorry?
I was being a smartass. Never mind.
12
No,
million
I didn't hear you. Christ, I saw it and you broke up for me.
So 27 million pounds is what? $10 US?
At the time, it would have been about $42 million.
Yeah, and so they and them, let me guess, they carried that out and took it right over to Westminster and dropped it off in the woman's purse that deserves it, right?
No, it's just like the security in banks now is so tight. Possible.
It's tight, but what they did was they went to the chairman's house. They held his wife and daughter at knife point, and the team then went to the maximum security building of the bank, and literally in the space of about 5.5 hours, they transferred 27.5 million quid out the door.
Goodness gracious, where was that? I didn't hear about that one.
One of the banks in Northern Ireland.
Oh, is it really? No, I didn't hear about that.
I have a question.
It's pretty rare, though, isn't it? Banks don't get robbed a lot.
Oh, do you not know the
banks get robbed a lot, actually, but just not by the criminals that we think they are.
Yeah, Dagan was just about to say something, Aaron, and you interrupted him. Go ahead, Dagan, then.
It's actually more beneficial to hit the transport vehicle, because literally in the UK the advice is if they walk up with you to a banana, you hand it over.
Absolutely, I certainly would.
In 2008, there was one of the largest bank robberies we've ever seen. $600 billion, $700 billion that the U.S. government gave to private corporations of our tax money. Well, that's a robbery in broad daylight. Thanks, guys.
There are
Okay. It's just-
there are much better ways to make money as a criminal than robbing a bank.
yeah, I think it's all online these days, isn't it? That's where the theft is carried out, isn't it? Hacking and
Hey,
whatnot.
Hey, Maxwell, does free speech end at our lips? You know, going back to Sean's initial topic of free speech. Does it end
I
at our
don't know.
lips? Or
I
what
give
if I
up.
hold out my finger? Does my finger speak? You know, what do we think about that?
I don't
Does it end
know
at my
about free
finger or
speech
my
anymore.
lips?
I give up on it.
If I flip somebody off here driving down the road, I can get a ticket for it.
Yes, you can. That's bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Well, no, that's a statement. That's a statement, but it's not your opinion.
Sorry, so just there's one question in the chat from Blue. Blue, yes, I have been face to face with a guy that's been armed. Coming from where I come from, it was unfortunately not that strange a thing to happen.
Is everything okay? They and them, or how'd it work out? Or
Let's just say it's not a topic that Sean wants to broadcast across his YouTube stream.
Do you live in Belfast, they and them?
I lived in Northern
criminal
Ireland, yes,
town?
that's what.
Yeah, was it
Not in Belfast.
Belfast? Okay.
Better named criminal
So-
towns.
So in the side chat, I just added a little story about the latest bank robbery from the 19th of October. Guy took a taxi to rob a bank.
Wow.
That was intelligent.
So these days, they and them, Northern Ireland isn't anywhere near as bad as it used to be, huh?
It was never as bad as people thought it was. Different times, though, different areas. Good days and bad. No, but the best bank story I heard was the guy that used lemon juice because he thought it would make him invisible because it's one of the ingredients in invisible ink.
That is awesome.
Best one I heard about was where the guy went to the teller with his finger under his shirt, and the teller went to give him the money, and he pulled his hand out of his shirt without a gun, and they jumped on him.
I like how we're discounting true criminals. You know, people that actually plot, plan, conspire, conspiracy. That's the name of your show, Sean. Versus the shit we see in the news, right? We see the shit in the news of the finger pulling out of the sweatshirt and going, "Oh shit, oops," you know. Come on, guys. That's just shit to fucking fuck with us, okay? True criminals plot, plan, conspire. They think about this shit all the time. Big criminals, not your house burglar. You know the guy walking around your house. Fucking, we'll pluck him off. No big deal. But actual true criminals. Let's go up the ladder a little bit, right, guys?
All right, Aaron. After the stream goes off air, you stay in the meeting. I'll tell you what. Some of the personal stuff I grew up around.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because how far up this criminal list are you wanting to go?
You tell me where the criminal list ends.
Were you involved with IRA at all?
Why would the criminal list ever end if technology is advancing, knowledge is advancing, and there's so many ways to to get free shit, right? Especially if you own it. Called corporations, governments, right? Why would you end that?
I don't know.
I wouldn't. I don't know. I wouldn't end it. I don't know.
You
That'd
can
be
make
my
a better
defense in
law.
court.
Somebody
I
will
don't
always
know.
figure out how to.
I don't know. That's my defense in court. I don't know.
Ignorance of the law is not a defense in court. Sorry.
If I was a super high level criminal, you know, MIA. Oh, MIA, it's not a criminal organization. CIA is not a criminal, right? They're only there to protect us against the criminals, the high level criminals. But what if? Oh boy.
Really? You're gonna go there?
Oh, I just threw it out there. Just to see if that's trolling right there. I threw the bait out there.
That's a terrible fisherman.
You never know.
This discussion would be a lot more fun off air. I'm just going to hang around until Sean's done streaming.
You know what's cool though is that the CIA and the MI6 they go catch criminals, right? Worldwide. Oh, we got ISIS. We've got the
I'm actually gonna give you guys
South
the
African fucking government.
well,
We got
actually,
all these fucking things that we need to control.
do you guys need a 10-minute warning, or can I just end it now? Does
You can
anyone
end it
want
now.
to
I don't have
anything?
anything coming up.
Yeah.
I'm back quiet.
Nope.
I'm back quiet.
Free speech.
Yeah, come on,
Thank
John.
you guys. I appreciate it. No, if you guys have something you want to keep going and you wanted to stay live, it's cool. It's
Yeah,
just
I
can
want to make a statement live. Is that all right?
Maybe.
No.
So
No.
right now, YouTube is actively censoring Eric Sayermella, which is the whistleblower for the Shift show.
Peter
And
Schiff.
they have that right.
It's YouTube.
Sean,
Just like my
Aaron,
channel will no longer be sitting out in
my bad. I'd like to thank you guys. I do appreciate you being on. Aaron, thank you for actually holding conversation today. I do appreciate that. Seriously.
Yeah.
And the best part is I didn't even have to mess with my OBS today, so I'm pretty happy. Again,
Yeah, you were in a good mood today.
Yeah, yesterday was just the worst day of my life, and then it just, jeez, I can't even explain to you the crap I was dealing with this OBS system. It's like I was getting crash after it was literally just crashing, and then I'd take my report because you can get these little log reports, and I took it to OBS forum. I went into Discord OBS, and they were like, "Just change your browser." I'm like, "Dude, no." I can't even get in my OBS to do the hardware thing. So I finally fixed it by just starting over completely. Sometimes it just works better.
Yeah.
I shouldn't use my name in vain.
Well, I just wanted to say thanks for having me on. It was a fun conversation.
Yeah, it was.
Any time that free speech comes up or people's rights, we go to the Constitution, but we always forget about the Bill of Rights as well.
Yeah.
There's more than just one thing that you have to look at throughout the entire thing. But we can have a conversation on that later.
Yeah. Well, we still got to talk too, because again, I mean, realistically, we didn't even establish where the hell free speech is actually a thing. But don't answer that.
Well, yeah.
Because if Jose goes on tonight, if Jose goes on, he can do it, or I can do it tomorrow. But I like to leave it open rather than shoot through like in the last 2 minutes that we could have done that earlier. But
Yeah,
I enjoyed
but
tonight.
for all the people out there still watching, hit the like and subscribe. Sean works hard, even though it doesn't seem like it. He does. He works hard at this just to have a platform for everybody to listen to. So the more people that like and subscribe, the more he gets some airtime. And
I
we might
appreciate
get
that,
some more
Sean.
shows out of it.
I definitely appreciate that. It means a lot when
Well said.
I hear it. Yeah, Dane, them, Sean. Thank you guys. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's. I'm not gonna lie. It's probably the hardest thing I've actually started to do in my life. I've worked 70 hours a week. I've worked 80 hours a week. But to think of something in my head instantly to talk about, research it, and then try to have a conversation, it's probably the most difficult thing I've ever done in my life. But it's not. It doesn't feel like a job because I feel like I'm just hanging out with you guys. So it's thank you guys. Realistically, it's you guys, people in the chat, you guys that are realistically what keeps me going. If you guys weren't here, I probably would have done it for a while, but eventually I would have been like deaf ears. So I do appreciate the conversation. I appreciate the back and forth that we are able to have.
Well, I appreciate it because it gives me time to sit down and I actually work on paintings and stuff like that. So it's good. It keeps my mind going and keeps me active.
Yeah. It's weird. It's a lot of people, like for instance, my girlfriend and family members, they give me shit for doing this, and it's kind of like you don't get it. Tomorrow I'm actually going to get sentimental. I'm gonna go ahead and explain a lot of things that I've been getting some more questions lately, and there actually is a reason to my moods, and I'll explain tomorrow. There will be nobody on the panel when I do it, but there are reasons for it, and you guys are kind of like family, so I feel like you guys should know.
Hey, Sean.
But yeah, there are other aspects to this than just being
Hey,
on.
Sean.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, Sean. Take that $10 from the 50 super chat I got you. Take that $10 and buy your girlfriend something.
Well, then I'd have to
Free
take
speech,
the
right?
25. I'll take the $33 because YouTube takes
Get
theirs.
$33. That's it, motherfucking YouTube.
I'm gonna tell this right now, and this is to everyone, and not just me. If you have a content creator that you super chat to, stop super chatting. Send it to their PayPal.
Waste of money.
Here's the thing.
I'm supporting the platform.
I could
free speech.
I could easily post my PayPal all up and down everywhere. The problem is that YouTube will actually what happens is PayPal will actually restrict your account, and then YouTube will then restrict your YouTube account because YouTube don't get nothing if you use PayPal. But the best part is YouTube gets nothing when you do PayPal. The only issue is realistically is that little dollar sign is so easy to see and get to that it's easier than doing the PayPal way. And I think that's kind of what it is. But as far as I'm concerned, YouTube is making enough. Fuck them. That's why when I do this with my bot, when I do it, because I have my PayPal link for my bot, first thing it says the link, and then right after it says F Super Chats. Yeah, they take.
How do you PayPal though? Do I have to have a PayPal account also?
I don't know.
Right?
I've always had the PayPal account. Oh yeah, see, I've always had a PayPal, so I don't know the answer to that. Literally, it's the easiest thing in the world, Aaron. If you can afford to it's a super chat, say like you do, you can. I'm pretty sure you could afford to figure out PayPal. Literally,
you can also do Venmo or something like that if if Sean G wants to send you any information at all.
The only reason I would set up a PayPal is for you, and that's not worth it.
That's just
right?
what it is. That's all.
You know what I mean?
You want to pay YouTube?
I don't PayPal anything else.
That's the only thing I'm looking for when it comes down to that. I'm trying to find some type of widget that I could add to the stream, because I mean you don't see it. That's the only reason why there's no difference
me a quick
except for
link.
that
Yeah.
YouTube gets theirs. And if I can get the widget made, I'm talking to a guy who makes them, and he thinks he can do it for me without me getting in trouble. And hopefully I'll have an icon for it. But man, it's fucking gonna probably cost me about $100 to get it. Because
Sean G, you have Streamlabs?
No, I use OBS. But
Streamlabs automatically, but you can. My tech guy set it up when I was doing streams.
Well, you know how you can. It has the sub icon in the bottom right corner. The sub for my channel, or
yeah,
that I'm trying to get that.
Oh
I
shit!
I want
Okay.
to put. That's why it's going to cost me so much. He actually has to make it so YouTube will take it and display it, because otherwise they won't. When you go to your cards, your cards, and it says that at the very bottom it says approved links. Yeah, there's ways for them to code a widget that YouTube can't tell, and cost me enough. So
Sean, why are you talking about this when I'm the only one that donates anyway? You're talking to all these people that never ever fucking donate. Come on.
No, wait.
All right, folks.
He just doesn't shout them out like you.
Put your money where your mouth is. Let's support this channel.
Look, you are the lump sum of last month. I can tell you that. But I was telling you you're stupid for that a long time ago. I'd rather seriously. I like that there's an option for it, but I'd rather say no, don't do it, than you do it, and that goes for everybody. I don't need it. Realistically, I don't. It makes me.
I love
it makes me know that you guys are there and you're supporting me. But this isn't a career. This isn't my profession.
I know.
This is my entertainment. This is my hobby. This is my enjoyment.
Sean, I might throw money at you only so that I can talk to Sean Smith, Maxwell, Blue Marble, Rumpus. You know, you give me that platform to actually, so it's not just me and you, right? Me and you, Sean, directly. You give me the platform to talk to all these other fucking folks, and it's seamless, right? It's seamless. You're always late, but no big deal.
No.
You
Doesn't that make me on time?
I think that's worth something.
Hey, don't get in on my Sean being late hustle
8
that I
hours
run.
of your time, at least every show. You know what I mean?
I think I'm on time.
You know what I mean? It's worth 8 hours
Put it this way:
your time.
when I start when the YouTube time says, everyone goes into shock.
And I don't make any money.
Oh shit. My friend, only sheeple can't see. I really do appreciate that. I'm gonna figure something out, because I gotta figure out some way for the act. You know, if you do a PayPal way, you should be able to. If whatever you type next, only sheeple can't see, Aaron will say verbatim. That's the new deal.
Oh, shit.
Anything. Does not matter what you say. Aaron's going to say it, and it will be recorded.
Aaron, I need a PayPal donation so I can get you to say some shit on air.
Well, you need to start a badass channel like Sean G has, okay?
He has a badass channel.
I had a badass.
Yeah, his channel is pretty badass.
How many views do you have, or what do you talk about? What are the topics?
When I'm doing live streams, I had almost as much as Sean, but I have sponsor builds I'm doing on my channel that didn't agree with my flat earth shit, so I'm starting a new channel.
I'm subscribed to you. Yeah. I'm subscribed. Crashes.
Okay,
but we're just gonna talk mostly mechanics, right? You know, not
Aaron, do you have a channel?
No.
Only sheeple. It still stands. But is there a place you can write comments when you do the PayPal? Because if there is,
you can put it in the description on his PayPal, Sean.
Okay. Okay, so maybe he just didn't see it because I'm looking for one. I don't see it. But yeah, it still stands, man. PayPal's. Even if Aaron isn't here, then next time Aaron is here, he will repeat whatever you say for him to repeat. That's a new deal.
Oh, I am so running an online auction tonight to make some money.
Hey, what's up, Jose? Are you going live tonight, Jose?
He should be. He's like, Aaron's here.
Yeah, but considering his stream was almost 5 hours earlier on today.
Oh shit!
And
I forgot. And I'm pissed. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Considering it was a Nathan Thompson Rumpus interaction, I think he might need some peace and quiet.
That's his fault.
I missed it.
Yeah, I caught the first part because actually I'm pissed I did because I consciously tried to remember just to finish what I was doing and get back to the computer because I know I did a lot of research into the NASA and the government and I hate to tell everyone, them motherfuckers are the same thing. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, they're pretty sketchy. Yeah, they're pretty sketchy.
I can even give you an example of why they became quote unquote civilian, and it'll make perfect sense. For another time. I gotta get out of here, guys. I'm hungry. And I'm battling being sick from yesterday, so let me see.
Let me go first.
Hang on. Yeah, go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead. I've actually got to do something that doesn't involve talking.
Thanks, Sean, for not booting me off. Fucking dick last night.
Thanks for not making me boot you.
Hey, cheers, guys, to the whole panel, everybody that was on. I think the topic that we're started on the conspiracies, it went to freedom of speech and then gun rights and all the stuff. That's a cool topic because it does hit down home, you know, wherever you're at. You know, you have your own versions of it. We have our own versions of it. Versus the flat Earth, globe Earth, where that's just abstract. You know.
All right, Sean. Only people can't see has but I know, Aaron, but this is for you as well because only people can't see has posted in the chat for you.
Okay, go ahead, Dan.
You got to read it.
Yeah, I thought tonight was a nice chat, and I'd love to keep chatting with these folks about these down-home topics versus flat Earth, globe Earth, gas pressure, all this shit.
Okay? We will off the air, but you got to read what only sheeple typed.
Well, hold on, I gotta. Gee whiz. Oh my goddamn phone! Hold on. I see Amy Helbing says
Sean just posted it in the side chat.
Oh, side chat. Damn it! Gotta go back. Sean G. Now, who are we? Where on this quest we are aligned? Our conversations with other beings have refined a supernatural conscious humankind has nothing to lose. Is that
No, yes, you need to say it clearly, though, Aaron, so that we can get a proper recording of it.
Yeah, I couldn't understand that.
Yeah, I've got my record button set up now, so you can say that again.
Who are you?
Don't do it. It's a trick, dude.
Who are you? We're on the greatest path. We will be aligned. Your conversations with other folks have led to a refining of a spatial consciousness. Humankind has nothing to gain.
Thank you.
And that was a reading of somebody's Sean G's post. Just so y'all know.
That was only sheeple can't see.
Yeah, but well, what's the point of that post?
Yep.
Because Aaron, you should have said it like this: who are we?
Oh, you'll find out.
Where on the great quest will we be aligned? Our conversations with other beings have led to the refining of the supra-astral consciousness. Humankind has nothing to lose.
Can we go sentence by sentence? Can we break it down?
No, I'm just waiting for Sean to go off air so we can have a real
I'll go back
discussion.
quiet. But hey, thanks, guys. That was a great conversation. Thank you, Maxwell, Sean Smith, they and them.
Okay, so
Crash It came in.
only sheeple. I'm gonna end the stream, but I promise you, before I start tomorrow, you're going to hear. I'm gonna see you, and then I'm going to play Aaron saying that correctly because I'm going to hound him until he does. And with that, guys,
That's so awesome. Can I get that audio clip too?
Oh yeah, well he's gonna do it right now. Let me say my goodbyes and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go ahead and make it so I can't hear you guys. Be right back, guys. Alrighty. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. Basically, and as clear as it can be, Aaron, thank you. Thank you for not trolling, not poking the bear. And you easily could have, so I do appreciate that, Aaron. In the super chat, I wish you would stop doing that, but at the same time, I'm not going to stop you. Again, I wanted to make it clear that what we were talking about today isn't a gimme. You don't get free speech. I still don't. When I'm conjuring it, I can't even realize where free speech actually happens. The idea that we're allowed to say whatever is not what I think of it as. It's not how I conjure it up. I see it more as a way of protecting us rather than allowing us. If that makes sense. I think tomorrow we're gonna go into the same topic because it literally still has a lot to be said for. If Jose does it tomorrow, that's even better. I don't care, no minds at all. But that's kind of where I'm going to be at for it. For tomorrow, kind of actually getting into the free speech of it because kind of got to it and went around it because it's not as clear as you think it is, right? So tomorrow, that if it does change, then I will have a very early stream reminder. So and you'll know what the topic is, so you guys have a good idea. But if pop up in 30 minutes later on, it's gonna be the same topic and hopefully the same guys on because I like the conversation. I liked where Maxwell was going with it. He was pushing it, but he wasn't trolling it, so I do appreciate that as well. This is what I want. I want my streams to just be us bullshitting, just shooting the shit, giving our opinions, and laughing a little bit. That's what it is. And actually, no name. I think I do. I'm gonna reach out and talk to some people because it would be good. That's actually what I'm mainly been working on. Trying to get some more authorities to come on and interview. I think it will definitely put all discussions foot ahead if we have someone that we can actually point to as an authority. So. Hopefully that'll work out pretty soon. Again, only sheeple can't see. I appreciate the fucking shit out of that, man. You have no idea. I'm gonna get Aaron to say that correctly. And again, thank you so much. Anybody else, if you use PayPal, please. I don't know where it is. I actually haven't done it before. But leave a message. Anything. Again, with the PayPal, I'm gonna make Aaron repeat anything it says. Anything. But yeah, I'm gonna get out of here. What's up, Chris? A little late. Sorry, it's not flat. It's a globe. We weighed the evidences, and flat Earth just turned up being globe denial. But I'll be on tomorrow, and actually, I wanted to talk to you, Chris, because I want to make sure you're back in training. So hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow. And other than that, guys, done ranting. Get out of here. I'm gonna push these little buttons. If you want to shop at Amazon, hit that link. And other than that, guys, I'm gonna get the fuck out of here. I'm tired. Thank you, guys. And again, sorry for yesterday. It will happen again. I trigger easily, but thank you guys. It really does mean a lot. And I was serious. Tomorrow, I'm gonna go ahead and explain the mood swings. Explain why I am here. I decided to do it. I was gonna do it tonight. Just didn't feel right. So tomorrow, get another. Sean opens up. So be prepared for that, guys. Peace.